What is going on, everybody? So today we have new matches announced for TNA's One Night Only pay-per-view. Now TNA has announced the following matches for Friday's One Night Only pay-per-view event, which will take place from Philadelphia at the Sands Bethlehem Event Center. Now the matches are as following: TNA Tag Team Title Match, Kurt Angle and Drew Galloway versus Eli Drake and Jesse Goddard versus the Wolves. Number 1 Contenders Gauntlet Match, Madison Rayne, Velvet Sky, Awesome Kong, Jade, Marty Bell, and Rebel. Bobby Lashley versus Tyrus, Aiden O'Shea versus Mahabali Shera, and James Storm and Bobby Roode versus Eric Young and Bram. Now, of course, if you saw that James Storm and Bobby Roode are back together, Beer Money, that's happening. So this is their first outing as the return of Beer Money. You also see that Kurt Angle is in a match because he is in his last contract. He's already stated that he will not be returning to TNA and he will not be wrestling in general that much. He only has a handful of matches in him. Possibly, I think it was because of the injury. I don't really remember correctly, but yeah, these are some of the matches that have been added to the current pay-per-view. So make sure to check that out if you're a TNA fan, or if you're looking to get into TNA Impact Wrestling. You can find it somewhere, I think. I don't know. Check the internet. Next up, Backstage talk of splitting up the Dudleyz. In a recent report, it was mentioned that there was talk of splitting up the Dudley boys in WWE, with the idea that Bubba would portray a character similar to the TNA Bully Ray character. It should also be noted that if something like this happens, or something along this line happens where the Dudleys break up, it's because stuff like this, all these ideas get pitched all the time in creative. So maybe it could work out. Maybe if you have Bubba go singles and bring in another tag team, because the Dudleys, they did well. They did good in what they needed to do, and that was prop up the tag team division at the moment. And I really love the tag team division. So if Bubba went to Bully Ray instead of Bubba Ray, it could add a different dynamic. Plus, there isn't a real heel in the company besides Kevin Owens. Everybody's just in the gray area. We need someone who can show black and white, because we need to differentiate in the shows. Next up, Stardust versus Stephen Amell continues. Now, if you don't remember, Stardust and Stephen Amell, who was famously known as playing Oliver Queen, aka Green Arrow, on the show Arrow on the CW, have had this feud going on since SummerSlam, even before that. But they had their first match at SummerSlam, in which Stephen Amell and Neville won against Stardust and King Barrett, or who was King Barrett at the time. I think now he's Wade Barrett, but yeah, Barrett in general. So their feud is continuing, especially on Twitter. It's been continuing, but now it seems like maybe Stephen Amell might be coming back sooner than you think. Because if you didn't know, Stardust stole the Slammy that at the Slammy Awards that was supposed to be given to Stephen Amell for being, I guess, the best celebrity in WWE of 2015. It looks like Stephen Amell is going to be returning so he can get his Slammy back, or whether he shows up on a Raw, whether he fights again with Stardust and brings back Cody Rhodes. That would be awesome to see, because I want to see Cody Rhodes back. Stardust is awesome, don't get me wrong, but it would be cool to see Cody Rhodes back. Lastly, Jerry Lawler now working as a heel commentator. For those who missed Thursday's debut of SmackDown on the USA Network, Jerry the King Lawler was more heelish in his commentary. I very much saw that. I could feel it in the air, especially when you have this new commentary team on SmackDown with Jerry, Byron, and Maro. It should be noted that it's been nearly a decade since Jerry Lawler worked as a heel commentator. Lawler then retweeted several messages from fans on Twitter regarding the change. It seems like people are loving that Jerry Lawler is now a heel commentator, probably better than JBL, no offense JBL, but it looks like Jerry Lawler has more fans on the heel commentator than you. And honestly, Mauro, so much better than Michael Cole. And honestly, I think people would be entertained way more than they are now on Raw if you brought Mauro and someone else that was a great sports commentator, whether it's boxing, NFL, NBA, MLB, who knows, who cares, anywhere else, because they know how to commentate.